We're live.
Hello.
Hello.
Tamera, it's so nice to have you here. We're delighted that you can be a part of this project, and you just do such amazing work. So I'm totally thrilled and excited to share you with our communities and beyond.
Wonderful. I'm excited to be here. I am.
Absolutely. And we are just excited to experience it ourselves. Yeah, Tamera gave us a little glimpse of what she's going to be sharing and offering, and I can't wait to experience it.
Yeah, it should be a useful piece. I wanted to keep it under 15 minutes, so I'll be brief with all the other little introductions. But I'm excited to share it. As you guys know, I do a lot of work in the community, and even with all of this, I'm offering free support groups. I'm still getting ready to do my meetup, which you guys know is really huge. We have like 1,300 people in there. We've been doing it for over 10 years, and it's this week will be the first time I'm doing it virtual. So it's been fun, a learning curve.
For pivoting so quickly and still bringing such immense value to the community. And so this is Conscious and Connected during COVID. We are inviting not just people we know, but the community to share a gift as a way for all of us to stay connected during this time. And so I'm going to dive right in. And certainly at the end, Tamera, when I add a description to the YouTube, certainly I'm going to have your contact information so people know how to reach out to you and find you.
Sure.
So beginning with the question we ask everyone is, who are you? Tell us about yourself. And if you want to go deep, trying to distill your story to your life story to under 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'll be briefer than that. I'd rather do the trance work. But Tamera, like a camera, Fontenot, I'm a good Cajun. And I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I own Tampa Bay Hypnotherapy, which is a project I started in 2008. I did that after working several years in a national way for disaster recovery. So all of this is feeling very familiar. And I like to think that the resources I learned back then and the way we coped with disasters in the immediate aftermath is there's skills that I'm bringing to the table here now. I have always loved trance work. I've loved it since I was 7 years old. I used to see hypnotists. They would bring them to school, stage work. I thought it was lovely, but my father told me it wasn't a real job, so I became a therapist. And after 18 years in working with children in dependency or foster care, became highly skilled in trauma, but I did not use trance work. Even though I do it on the side all these years, and I've been into yoga and meditation since 10th grade, this is different. So I appreciate all the experiences that I had. But in 2008, after reaching that kind of national level, I was in Washington, D.C., and believe it or not, that place isn't really, doesn't have a lot of integrity. And I do. So I came home at the age of 48. I sat in my backyard for 6 months and said, what are you going to be when you grow up? Because that wasn't a good fit. And I decided to pursue my love of hypnosis. And that's what I've been doing ever since. It is beautiful work. It is life-changing work. What I am really intrigued by these days is how much it just flows into the whole consciousness movement. The idea of meditation and guided meditations and what our minds are capable of. We can do amazing things. So that's what I do today, and that's what I'm going to do going forward. Yeah.
What a beautiful story. I got like goosebumps, and like the hair on the back of my neck kind of stood up, especially when you were talking about being in your backyard.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you are fully equipped. If you were dealing with disaster, if you were dealing with people in adoption and the trauma that is usually involved in that process, you are equipped for the crisis that is happening right now.
I like to think so. And I do. I share that freely. In most disasters, what we do is encourage people coming together. as a means of healing. The community comes together. You see the best of people and the worst of people, and we choose to focus on the best. That's the way to do this. And of course, we're having to be very creative in order to accomplish that. And so I appreciate what you're doing, because that's what it's about, is let's not stay stuck in what we've lost or what we can't do, but let's move forward. I recently have come across some things on dealing with uncertainty, which is what I'll be doing a meetup on shortly. Because that's for a lot of people, I think, is the big struggle. How to deal with all the unknowns. And as Tony Robbins says, our ability to be successful is our ability to handle that uncertainty.
Yeah.
You know, to be here in the present, like I heard you talking about, Jen, in the last in the piece that you guys did, and still be looking to the future positively, because we can hallucinate the worst case scenarios. We're really good at hallucinating worst case scenarios. So how about we hallucinate something else?
Absolutely, I love that.
Yeah. How have you been getting through this time, Tamera? I'm so curious, like what you've been doing so much for the community with the groups and everything that you do. How are you getting through?
That's part of it.
Good point.
Seriously, serving others fills my cup. What I like to just say to people is that we're all vessels, and there's always holes in our vessel, you know, things that are pulling from us. And it's important to keep putting things in. To keep the level there. And of course, in situations like this, we have lots of holes, maybe even more holes than we know. Yeah. So it's important to do the things that fill us up. Like yourself, I do meditate regularly. I move my body a lot. Very important. I continue to create. I continue to contribute. I am finding ways to connect with my friends and family, and spending quality time with people that in the past seems like we were ships passing in the night, you know, but now we're spending good time together. So it's really been a time of reflection and creativity and great self-compassion. I really want to emphasize that, great self-compassion. Because it feels like there's so much to do that sometimes I feel like I'm not being productive, and it's important to just recognize that it's okay to not be doing anything but taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I'm usually exhausted at the end of the day, and it's because those things are floating in the back of your head, you know. And it's important to have that self-compassion and realize that we're just moving ahead one step at a time.
Beautifully said.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm watching our time. I want to be very mindful of that, and because this trance is really lovely, and you know, it's a very generative experience, a little bit different than maybe meditation, you know, where like the piece I heard you do, Jen, where you're just being very present in that very mindful kind of way. This actually allows you to use, I call it the back door to your mind. You know, you can say to yourself, be calm, but that doesn't always work. So what we're going to do is use metaphor and use languaging to help us get into states of calm, and to utilize that as a resource state for solving, or I don't want to say solving, but managing what's happening for us in the here and now, but from a more relaxed kind of frame. And in hypnosis or NLP, we might call this a resource state, or an emotional state that we can get into. You know, folks don't realize, I mean, we're a lot like babies. If you ever watched a baby, they can go from happy to sad to furious to happy again in the span of 60 seconds. So can we, if we know how to do it. So it's about managing our state. And so that's what I'm hoping to accomplish with this today.
Great. Let's dive in.
Okay.
Dive in. Do it.
Very good. So what I'm going to do is invite anyone who's listening to go ahead and make themselves very comfortable, because for the duration of the next 15 minutes or so, we're just going to let you move as deeply within yourself to a more internalized experience. So I don't want you falling out of your chair or anything. Understanding that you're completely in control of this. And while we're calling it a hypnotic meditation, you're not in any way going to be clucking like chickens or anything like that. You're completely in control. What I'm going to invite you to do is, as you're comfortable there, sort of look out in front of you, maybe find a space on the wall or the ceiling that you can hold all of your visual attention to for a moment. And I want to invite you to take a nice, slow, easy breath in from your belly. And as you exhale, maybe bringing that belly in a little bit so that you stimulate that vagus nerve up behind your diaphragm. That, of course, as you ladies know, will cause a downregulation in the fight or flight response just on a physiological level. So that's always helpful to people. Breathe deeply. Go ahead and take another easy, deep breath in. And as you do exhale, I'd like to invite you to bring your awareness to a place about halfway between yourself and where you began. It doesn't have to be a thing. It can just be space. And it's kind of interesting to even notice that you can do that. You can just hold your space there for a moment. Taking another low, slow, easy breath in. As you exhale, I'd like to invite you to bring your awareness just a little bit closer in, maybe just an inch or two in front of your eyes. And you're just holding space there because you can. And it's a really important part of this meditation, and I want to show and demonstrate and help your unconscious understand that you do get what you focus on. Notice that right now, those other two spots have just sort of fallen away, and you didn't have to try. You just turned your attention. As you take another low, slow, easy breath in, I want to invite you to let those eyes close down all the way and just bring your awareness to just an inch or so behind your eyes, to that very dark, soft, velvety place there behind your eyes. And just know that you can do that too. And notice how all the other places you are formally attending to just fall away. But we're actually going to make this even better, because there you are with your eyes closed, just breathing gently in your own way. I want you to know that you can sort of listen to all the things I'm saying and just sort of follow along. But if you find that your conscious mind begins to drift, I want you to know that's okay, because I don't really need you to listen to everything with your conscious mind. We're going to talk into your unconscious mind. And the truth is, if anytime you want to, you can come back to my voice. But if it serves you to just drift in your own way, you can do that too. But I'll give your busy conscious mind something to do if you'd like. I want to invite you to do a classic meditative body scan, but this time I'd like you to find the place on your body that's the most comfortable right now. Just sort of scanning your body maybe from side to side, almost like you had a little flashlight. You might notice the part of you that has the most comfort right now. It might be the tip of your nose, the tops of your ears, your kneecaps. I don't know. There's not a right or a wrong. In fact, I'm going to encourage you to suspend all judgment and all expectations as you just sort of scan your body for that place in you that feels really comfortable right now. And as you find that place that is comfortable right now, I'm going to invite you to just let it begin to expand. Just attending to that right now, because you can. So that with every breath you take and every sound you hear, you're just letting that sensation sort of grow like ripples upon a still pond, like dew dripping off a leaf and just creating ripples. Every breath that you take, every sound that you hear, letting that sensation grow, just waves and waves of calm. Because it's safe for you to do that right now, and it's good for you to do that right now. Waves and waves, like echoes in a canyon or a lullaby that can just softly wrap a baby into the most pleasant sensation of calm and quiet, a peaceful place. And your body just moving into the most delightful state of rest and digest. It's a healing place on a lot of levels. Letting go of everything else as much as you want to, because again, you do get what you focus on. And while that sensation continues to grow, your body just being safe here, being comfortable here, growing quiet here, very much at ease. We're going to use that beautiful unconscious mind of yours that isn't limited by time or space. And I want to invite you to bring your awareness back up to your eyes and that dark, velvety softness there. And to imagine for a moment that you could just begin to sort of leave your body. You can do that. Your body is here, you're safe, but you can just begin to sort of drift up and out. It's not like astral travel, it's just what your mind can do. And because you can, and because it's useful, you begin to drift up and out, almost as if you could see yourself where you are. Maybe noticing what you're wearing or the chair that you're sitting in. But as I count now from 1 to 5, I want to invite you to just expand this. You're just sort of drifting out and getting a little distance now, mentally relaxing the way your body's continuing to physically take this time. And as I count from 1 to 5, you're just going to drift up and out, almost like a Google map. You're just going to expand out and drift up and find a comfortable place among the clouds to just float for a while. 1, allowing yourself to just begin to drift up and out and above it all, just taking your time. You know your body's safe, your mind is safe, you're completely in control. 2, as you're just rising up higher and higher, maybe getting above the roof line of the building you're in or above the city, above the state. 3, just drifting up and up, higher and higher, finding yourself a comfy place in the clouds, nice, perfect temperature. 4, everything, just letting go of all the stuff down there, knowing you're completely fine, completely safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just finding yourself a lovely cloud maybe to sort of drift upon, very pleasant. You know you're safe, you're in control, and from where you are, you can just comfortably kind of look around you and enjoy this, maybe hearing what you hear up here, above it all, above the trees, above the forest. You're not down there in it, just up here, enjoying this experience now, seeing what you see and hearing what you hear and feeling what you feel, a kind of quiet, a kind of calm, just taking a few minutes to be here now. And I just want to point out, as you drift comfortably here among the clouds, of how you may have watched clouds when you were younger, when you were a child, or maybe when you were older, if you were really lucky, just watching the clouds and sort of lazily recognizing any patterns that come to you. You know how you could see animals and faces and all kinds of things, or maybe just really gorgeous patterns in the ripples and the waves and the eddies and the swirls of the clouds. All those shapes and patterns, you may remember that, or you could even notice it now. And know that it's really just a reflection of you, what you see and what you experience there. And you do get what you focus on. Because clouds are just rivers of vapor and energy, collecting and dispersing, coming together and breaking apart, changing over and over again. And there's a lot you can learn here from the clouds about flow and about change. And maybe you could just notice how you can watch all of this change and still stay this calm. Or maybe, if it serves you from where you are right now, you can kind of glance down, back down there on the earth. And even as you do that now, maybe just having a sense, you don't have to think about it consciously. It's just a feeling. You know about all the things that are happening down there in your life, in your community, in your world. You know the feelings that are associated with it. But right here, right now, from this place up above it all, this more relaxed kind of perspective, maybe you can see the forest instead of the trees. And I'm not going to tell you what you should know about this right now, but from where you are, maybe you could know something. maybe there's something you could know right now that would have a positive effect on what's happening down there, and make what's happening down there just a little bit easier. Could make it just a little bit softer, a little bit more present, a little bit more peaceful. I mean, maybe it is gratitude for all that you have. Or maybe it's just giving yourself permission to take good care of yourself this way. Or maybe there's something you've been feeling or telling yourself, something you've been focusing on, that right now you could know, you could maybe look at it a little differently. A little shift, just like the clouds. If you waved your hand through them, they would move. It doesn't take much effort to change an attitude or a belief. A little shift in the wind can change the whole sea of clouds. Is there something that would be more useful for you down there to feel or to focus on or to do? Something useful like, I can handle this? Or to just take your time and go slow? Maybe it's just to know that you're really not alone unless you want to be, that we're all in this together. Maybe it's just to know that you could create a new normal. You can make something with this, or that you have choices. You do have choices. Maybe it's remembering that you do have experience to support yourself through this. Or maybe it's something altogether different that's just good for you. Maybe it is a little self-compassion or compassion for others who are also struggling. You just notice what you notice. And if it serves you in any way, feel free to breathe that in right now, to just suck that in, just taking some deep breaths to own that. Whatever you want to know, and know that your unconscious mind is listening and feeling, and that you're going to bring all of this back with you now in a moment when I count up from 5 to 1. You're just going to bring yourself all the way back down into your body. Just bring in with you whatever you need from this, and know that it'll be there easily and automatically. You have a wonderful unconscious mind. As I begin to count you down now, just bringing this with you easily and automatically. 1, knowing that this is yours. It belongs to you. You give yourself this gift and no one can take it away. 2, just beginning to come down from wherever you are, bringing this with you. In a moment, you'll open your eyes, stretch your fingers and toes, and just feel recharged, re-energized, at ease. 3, you're going to remember everything you want to remember, and know that you don't have to remember it all. It's okay. That's why you have your unconscious. 4, just bringing it all back down with you, getting ready to open your eyes, feeling so lovely, feeling really nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, coming all the way back into yourself, all the way back into your body, bringing it all with you. And taking nice deep breaths will just remind you of this. Or maybe when you look at the clouds again, you could just take a few deep breaths and remember whatever it is you need to remember. Nice. I know that was quick, but I hope it was useful.
Tamera, you helped at least me enter bliss with
Nice.
just your voice. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a gift.
Great. Yeah, I know we're running right up on the clock. Do you have any questions or anything? No.
No, just thank you. I feel an unbelievable sense of calm, and I can't wait to share this with other people, because I know a lot of people are in fight or flight right now, and they feel it physically. And I just like literally felt this calm come over me entirely. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, ladies, for everything you do and for being my friends. Love you guys. I really do. I hope to see you more. Bye.
So much
Thank you
gratitude.
so much.
And I just want to, we're going to get your information up, but it's Tampa Bay Hypnotherapy, correct?
That's correct. That's correct. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.